This is Reality Dispatch by Jim Minns.
Sitting in the 53-year-old coffee shop, Bill observed the surroundings that painted a picture of a life 13 years older than his. It was the anniversary of his birth, 40 years to the day, and he sat without friends or family in the roadside diner with no one but the shells of empty rigs sitting out in the lot, lined up like bowling pins. "Another refill?" the waiter asked. Bill nodded as his cup was saturated in brown water. He sculled the contents, bringing the liquid down his gullet in one gulp. "Another?" the waiter asked again. He has barely left before refilling the first time. "I'm good. Just another slice of pie," Bill requested. He was left alone once more to ponder his existence at the machines with wheels. The wandering of his mind brought a memory of his time in the front seat of an eight-wheeler at the age of 7, 33 years ago when his father was alive, and made a living by operating one of these trucks. Bill aspired to be just like the man, and even had a poster of a Mac on his wall that Pops got for him when the company purchased a new fleet. 33 years, gone in the blink of an eye. Bill hadn't realized it at the time, but hindsight had presented a clear picture of what true currency was. It was time. Bill had stolen large sums of money in his day, had served a good portion of his 40 years incarcerated for the act. He had been a rich man, and he had been a poor one. He had bought everything that could be sold, both legal and illegal. Yet there was one thing he desired that could not be bought. One thing he desired more than once in his 40 years: time. He wanted to return to that cockpit on wheels and sit in his daddy's lap. He wanted to return to that drugstore 27 years earlier and stop the young man from walking inside with a knife, threatening the life of the father of 3 who would suffer wounds that haunted that man's sleep for the rest of his days. He wanted to go back and stop all the times that would mean he would have his time taken away from him. But what use would it serve him if time was fleeting and he was someone who squandered it whenever it was available? Bill ran a finger around the inside of his empty mug and wiped up as much spent coffee as his finger could drain. He put the liquid to his lips but couldn't rekindle the taste. He was halfway through a lifetime that was rapidly accelerating. He couldn't buy or steal what had already passed. All that mattered was how the available time was spent. The cake arrived, and he took a bite and left the bulk of it on the plate and asked for the check. He would leave the diner optimistic, even if he couldn't specify exactly what it was he had hoped would greet him in the days to come. Perhaps it was the sunshine on his face that broke the cold gusts of the wind. Perhaps that's all he needed. The feeling that only a free man with time to kill could enjoy.
For more stories of fact-based fiction, head to jimminns.substack.com.